In the physical world, locks are flawed. Anyone can learn how to pick a lock with a simple search on the internet. Even if you get a very nice lock, with enough time and effort, someone can break it. Now, don't be alarmed because burglars are also constrained by the physical world. They are limited by distance, time, and available resources. But this is not the case on the internet. On the internet, anyone can be at your digital doorstep. It doesn't matter if it's your next-door neighbor or a Nigerian prince halfway across the world. Your digital lock has to protect your private items from everyone. Luckily, mathematics has provided us with virtually unbreakable digital locks. Encryption is a security feature that scrambles data so that only authorized people can read it. There are two main types of encryption, symmetrical and asymmetrical. Both accomplish the same task, but in different ways. Symmetrical encryption uses the same key to encrypt and decrypt, while asymmetrical encryption uses different keys. One is usually made public. Asymmetrical encryption is most well known for its usage in the HTTPS protocol. Usually, encryption algorithms are so complex that virtually nobody can access the encrypted information without a key. So if you have a secure password, it will take longer than the heat death of the universe for a hacker to access your account just based on luck. This level of security is what much of the internet is built on. Because of how encryption can be virtually unbreakable, this creates a host of new problems when it conflicts with the law. In the physical world, if there is evidence in a secured location, let's say a safe, and there is justification for acquiring that evidence to further a case, then a judge can issue a warrant to allow law enforcement to extricate said evidence. Law enforcement will do whatever it takes to get into the safe and get the evidence. Simple. It gets far more complicated with encryption, specifically end-to-end encryption, however. End-to-end encryption is designed so that only the sender and receiver knows the encrypted information. It's virtually impossible for anyone else to access it. This creates a problem. For example, after the San Bernardino shooting in 2015, the FBI wanted to unlock a suspect's iPhone. Specifically, they wanted Apple to create a new version of iOS that can accept an unlimited amount of 4-character combinations and have the FBI sideloaded onto the suspect's phone. It seems like letting the FBI access a suspect's phone is the right thing to do in this scenario, except it isn't that simple. If Apple were to concede to the FBI's demands, it will allow the US government to be able to access anyone's iPhone, which can allow the government to increase their surveillance state. 7 years ago, Edward Snowden showed us the extent that the US government is willing to go spy on its own citizens. Letting them access to all iPhones will allow the US government huge amounts of data that they can use to spy on people. And one could argue that based on Snowden's information, the US government shouldn't be trusted to handle your data properly. But that's not the worst part. Creating a backdoor for the government means that it is far more likely for the backdoor to get into the hands of far more malicious people. And those people are not going to shout to everyone that they found the backdoor. They're going to secretly use it to steal banking information, commit identity fraud, and do many other things. The government wants to get rid of end-to-end encryption because it is a huge hindrance to law enforcement's ability to track criminals, but doing so would cause huge vulnerabilities for people's privacy. This debate has been going on for many years, and under the current administration, there is a new act in Congress that aims to eliminate end-to-end encryption. It is called the Earn It Act, and it is designed to prevent child abuse and sex trafficking of children. It seems as if it's a pretty admirable bill, but one of the main parts of the bill says that tech companies have to comply to prevent sex trafficking of children, which means that they have to be able to let law enforcement into their platforms. This could mean that the government will make tech companies eliminate end-to-end encryption, another key step for the US government to have unlimited potential to spy on us. As much as we want it to happen, it is impossible to design encryption so that only good guys can open it and bad guys cannot at this day and age. Anyone who suggests so is ignorant of the facts or has another agenda that we do not know about. So let me ask you, is it worth it to sacrifice our privacy in order to enforce our laws?